Welcome to Genesis Global Radio, the origin of information. And now here's your host, Christine Larkin.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Genesis Global Radio, the origin of information. I'm Christine Larkin. On today's segment, we'll be speaking with owner of LightMyLife.com. She started her online home lighting business in January of this year with the help of Small Business Success. Her website offers a variety of home lighting fixtures, one to suit just about any taste, from chandeliers to table lamps and beyond. She also has a blog on her site where she features unique lighting fixtures and decorating ideas. It's my pleasure to welcome to our show Janice Monroe. Janice, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Christine.
So great to have you here. I've been on your site. I've seen the fabulous, very unique fixtures that you have. And so tell us today, why lighting? What made you choose that?
Well, I'm gifted at home decorating, and I have a keen eye for colors. So lighting naturally comes as a second nature to me. I thought that would be easy.
Very cool. And we all know that lighting, you walk in a room, whether it's someone's home or it's a wedding, a corporate event, and the lighting is always different. Tell us how different lights affect us and our moods and just our presence in that space.
Well, I find that the lights are a terrific source to update your home with the most impact for a small cost. Lights set the mood, the warmth and style to a room. The online business of lights picks up more varieties available that where the local stores leave off. I like lights because you can, like I said, you can update a room for the small amount of cost. Mm-hmm. So whether it's a small chandelier over a nightstand by your bed, over a jacuzzi tub, whether it's even in the kitchen, chandeliers are really good for almost every room of the house anymore, not just the dining room. Just as a small example.
I went on the site, www.light-my-life.com, and there was a picture of a living room, and there was a chandelier coming down over the couch, kind of over the coffee table.
That one.
Oh, my gosh. I just said, wow, what a cool idea. And then behind it were table lamps on tables behind the couch. Tell us what kind of an environment that can create in a room.
Well, first of all, your table lamps are more like for reading, whereas, again, the chandelier just kind of sets more of an atmosphere, mm-hmm. especially if you put a dimmer switch on it,
It's like candlelight then.
And, of course, you often will have a floor light where you need a floor light by, for instance, maybe a sofa where you don't have a side table. Maybe in that room there's not enough room for an end table at all of the furniture areas. Mm-hmm. So, again, what you do with a room can be a little different. You can mix it up and change it up. And also, what about having those accent lights over a particular painting or picture that you enjoy in your room? Mm-hmm. A lot of people tend to overlook that as a spotlight.
Yeah, and that can create an entirely different mood because that can bring that painting to life or make it more noticeable. Whereas if it wasn't lit, you could kind of like, oh, I didn't even see that. So lighting really, really does affect us in more ways than we realize. Tell us about your lights. You've chosen some very beautiful fixtures, especially the chandeliers, and there was one, a black see-through shade with crystals. Oh, my gosh, it was so beautiful. Tell us about what you've chosen.
Well, I put up an article every week or so choosing several of the lights. It's hard for me to decide which particular ones I like because I tend to like a lot of different styles, and I myself tend to lean more to the traditional type lights, mm-hmm. Where I see nowadays people are leaning, I guess, more towards the modern. But that's the nice part about it all. You should just, mix it up. Don't lean towards one style.
Yeah.
you want to make a room interesting. If everything was the same style, it gets a little boring. You want to mix it up.
So when you say mix it up, I mean, we don't want to get crazy, do we? Or do we? I mean, do we want a real modern sort of linear lighting above the table in the dining room and then maybe a traditional lamp in the living room? Can we mix it that much?
I think, I was just thinking to myself now, like, where I grew up, I guess in the old days, it seemed to be like the room just had a central light hanging from the ceiling, and that was it, maybe one or two table lights. That seemed to be like the thing to do way back in our growing up years. But like I said, now you just, anything goes, and any style goes. The key to remember is not to overdo it. You want to, like, keep like 2 or 3 styles, and that's about it. You don't want to, like, look too much like a mix mash, you know.
Well, because then the room has no synergy. It has no balance. You don't want to get too extreme. So, how do you publicize yourself, Janice? You've got a blog. Tell us about that.
Well, I have a couple of blogs. I write them, and then my website is through WordPress, so it actually goes out onto the media on the computer right there.
Oh.
Then I will put it on Facebook and Twitter, and of course, as this radio station is, you're kind to have me on. But then I'll write articles about the different kinds of lights and styles. But then from there, I've gone to just selecting a light of the week and do it as a featured item of the week. And I'll tell you, like, I want to do one for every light because I get excited about them all. I think they're all really awesome.
Yeah, they're all so different. So, do you ever get into the light makers, like people that actually design lamps? Because there are creative people out there that I actually know someone who makes his own lamps and sells them to, people such as yourself. So, I mean, what about that?
I didn't get into that, but the one company that I deal with up in Canada, they make a lot of their own lights up there also. They can do custom lighting. If for some reason a company was looking for something, I don't know, I could forward them to their phone number so they can get a hold of whatever they need themselves. I can do that, but
well, that'd be great. Do you want people to reach you through your site or any other way? Just the website?
Yeah, just the website.
Okay.
It says contact, and it shoots an email to me.
Beautiful. Again, www.light-my-life.com. How'd you come up with the name? I love it. Light My Life.
Well, yeah, because that's what lights do. I mean, they just, besides the lighting, they just put a whole overall feel for how you're living. And that's why I came up with it.
So it
was cool.
It is, and it's very memorable. Are you a bright light girl or dim light girl? Or somewhere in between?
Well, I'm bright light during the day, but when it gets late evening, I tend to turn my lights down. Otherwise, I just won't be. If you have it too bright before you want to go to bed, I mean, I'll never get there,
Right.
But, yeah.
So what about the accessories, like the dimmer switches and things like that? Are they more common now in homes? I know when I was growing up, if you had a dimmer, wow, you were fancy. But we see that more, don't we?
I don't know about that so much as I see track lighting.
Okay.
I see quite more of track lighting, especially in the bathroom and the kitchen.
Really?
So I would go by that. And also I like the wall sconces.
I do too. Those are beautiful.
They kind of like set a mood, like you can have that as your evening light to set the tone to again calm you down.
Sure.
For bed.
Tell us about that. How lighting affects our nervous system. For a certain room, what should they do?
No, but I find it's funny because my daughter was just talking to me the last 2 days about that with the winter coming, that, without enough bright lights, it just makes her depressed.
Yeah, well, that's very common for a lot of people. Do you recommend bright lighting in the home this time of year?
I was thinking, I told her, well, why not put a very intense light over, say, the bathroom sink, so that way she could get the amount of sun that would help her lift up her mood for the day, while she's there in the bathroom anyway.
Okay.
And just have it like over the bathroom sink. It's very bright, intense light.
That's a good start.
I thought that was like a great idea.
That is a great idea. And, we did that recently in our home. We upped the lights in the bathroom for that very reason, because that's how you're starting your day. The morning, yeah, and it has made a very big difference. Plus, I can see how I'm putting my makeup on now,
Maybe we don't want to see that, but okay. It can go two ways.
Oh, come on now. So for chandeliers over a dining table, I've seen both. I've seen chandeliers where the light's going up and chandeliers where the light is coming down. What's the difference?
Well, I would think with the lights coming down, it'll be more intense on you, but going up, I like the lights that go up. First of all, when I'm sitting at the dining room table and I look up, that's the last thing I want to see is a light bulb. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
But I love the chandeliers over the dining room table. When you have the light on, it will all reflect on the ceiling, and then the way the sunlight will come in and hit those crystals.
Yes.
And then I mentioned in my blogs how they just kind of dance around the ceiling. I just love that.
Light refraction is very, very interesting and takes all forms in a room, and it can take different forms depending on the fixture that you have. You sound like you love crystals. Tell us about that.
Well, the crystal lights, I don't think they have to be as costly as people are afraid. There are a variety of prices. Anywhere from $100. I mean, you can go up to $5,000, but my website, I kept it no higher than $2,000. There's so many beautiful lights. I don't think people need to spend more than that to get a grand entrance feel, especially those in the foyer.
Okay.
Where it's a second-story foyer with the window set above the doorway that just hits and accents and shows off that foyer light for people. They just don't need to spend tons of money to have a beautiful light.
Yeah. So you sound like you love it, and we've loved having you. So thank you so much, Janice.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you.
All the best to you.
For upcoming segments, log on to www.genesisglobalmedia.com and keep your finger on the pulse of the hottest brands on the planet.